Hi guys, if I had a guest show on my YouTube channel, say about Brexit, and pretty much every time I had a Brexiteer on, they handed me my arse, I would probably stop doing the segment. So is Lee Anderson thick, or does he like being embarrassed in public? The Reform UK MP on his GB News show had two guests on. One plays close to him, which agrees with pretty much everything he says, perhaps to provide him with comfort, and the lefty in the corner who has to shout their position from a distance. A very strange setup. Anyway, Matthew Stadlen made Lee Anderson look a bit like a fool on the issue of sending asylum seekers to France. Have a listen.
No, she's claiming that she's going to deport 14,000 illegal migrants by the end of the year, with not much substance, not much flesh on the bones for her plans. Most people are saying, fine, but A, we'll believe it when we see it, and B, should arguably be a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
Until Labour start stopping the boats, deporting foreign criminals immediately. I don't want them serving here. They can go. If they're committing crimes in this country, they need to be deported immediately.
Yeah.
And until they start tackling the root of this problem, it's just words, I'm afraid.
It's all well and good, Matthew. Yvette Cooper sending the authorities into nail bars and kebab shops and wherever that illegal migrants may be working. These could be overstayers or people who's come on a visa who's just decided for whatever reason not to go back. It's all well and good, going for low-hanging fruit, which some of these people are. But what about the real problem is the illegal migrants, undocumented migrants coming over on boats. And I've said it till I'm blue in the face. Just pick them up and send them back the same day to France. If we did that, they would stop coming.
I think, Lee, that there were few people in this country who were keener for that to happen than your old boss, Rishi Sunak, who not that long ago appointed you as deputy chairman of the ruling Tory party. He was desperate to stop the boats, Rishi Sunak. In fact, he said he was going to stop the boats, didn't he? And he failed to do so. And I think the reason he failed to do so is because it is much easier than you guys in Reform would like to suggest it is. I think if you found yourselves in government, I don't think you'd be doing anything different because the French wouldn't put up with it. And my understanding is it requires the cooperation of the French to make that work.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to come back to you. It doesn't. It requires a government with a backbone, with a political spine to say, we're not having this. We're not having thousands of undocumented young men coming into our country. Some of these are going to commit horrific crimes. This is a great country. And we've always prided ourselves on having, border security, the great Navy. We should pick these people up in the Channel, rescue them like we did a few weeks ago, and take them back to France.
We can't do that. We can't do it without the French saying so.
We can do it.
There are
You just keep repeating, we can do it, we can do it. Is he really that thick? It's been explained to him on I don't know how many occasions that you can't do that. You need to have the cooperation of the French. Let's say, for example, a boat arrives in English waters. It's picked up by the Royal Navy. Then what happens? Well, Lee Anderson and Nigel Farage would say, well, take it back to France. Okay, it arrives in French territory. What does it need to do? It needs to signal to the French Coast Guard or the French authorities, we want to dock. Why do you want to dock? Well, we want to drop off some asylum seekers. No, we're not going to allow you to dock. Then what happens, Lee? It's so ridiculous. Look, the Royal Navy would not do that. If it's safer to drop people off in France, then they will do that. If it's safer to drop people off in Britain, they will do that. But once again, we keep coming back to this point. People don't want to stay in France. So if you're going to pick a fight with the French, what do you think they're going to do then? Do you think they're going to cooperate with you and say, okay, we're going to stop these migrants from crossing the channel or asylum seekers from crossing the channel? Do you think they're going to work with you on that basis? No, they're not. They're going to allow people to cross. See, Farage and Lee Anderson and Reform UK's response to all of this is we need to grow a backbone. We need to be tough. Well, it hasn't worked. You had Priti Patel in charge. You had Suella Braverman in charge. These were regarded as tough when it came to immigration. Did they stop the boats? No, they didn't. Did they bring down immigration? No, they didn't. It's just rhetoric. Let's pick a fight with the French. That will work. You need to work with the French. Lee Anderson keeps saying, we will just drop them off. You can't drop them off unless you have permission to land the vessel. Where are you going to drop? You're going to avoid the French government and drop them off somewhere else, away from the port? How do you think that would work with French relations? If the French started seeing British vessels dropping people off away from the port, do you think they would be more or less likely to work with you to stop the boats from crossing in the first place? It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a joke party run by a joker, and another joker who has his own show on GB News, who keeps getting his arse handed to him, and he keeps doing this show. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.